but I am excited to be doing my first live here celebrating 500 subscribers. Woo! I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you all so very much for being a part of the My Two Cents crew. I am Christian and this is my channel. So I don't know, I'm not nervous by any means, but I do definitely want to tell you guys thank you so much for being a part of the growth over here, the conversations, the dialogues, the topics, things that a lot of other people here on YouTube and probably anywhere. No one else is talking about the things that I usually talk about the way that I talk about them, from the perspective where it's not scripture based, it's not heavy church lingo and all of that. It's kind of, by every means of the word, anti-religion. But either way, I am excited to be here with you guys on live today, celebrating the 500 mark for the subscribers to the channel. I mean, like, who knew? I started doing this last year. Wanted to touch on some of these topics as I was going through the deconstruction process myself. And I did a couple of videos and I kind of fell off, like, after 10 of them. And then I picked it back up this year in March. And I think when I first logged back onto the channel, I had like 96 subscribers. That was in March. And here we are in September and we have 504. So I'm excited about the growth. I'm excited about the channel, where we're going and the things that we discuss here. If you are a subscriber, I want to be able to see the live chats. And I don't know if I can do that. But I want to see them. So, or say something. Somebody say hi. Say what up though to me, so I can see it see how it comes up on the screen. Because this is my first time ever going live on YouTube. I go live on Instagram all the time for my business, but I've never gone live on YouTube. So I'm super excited about this today and seeing how it goes. There's been quite a few requests for people to say, I wish you would go live on this topic. I wish you talk about this and da-da-da. And I was like, I'ma do it. So here we are tonight. So tonight, I would love to answer any questions you all may have on my 2 cents, my opinion on certain topics. I would love to do a spitfire round where there's no practice, just me shooting off the cuff and answering your questions directly in person, live right now. Because that's what I do. So when I interview for different things in media, I'm always asked questions. Some I know what they'll be, some I don't. And so I think it would be dope, like, to answer some religious-based spirituality questions or just overall topics that I've covered before in other videos, to let you guys know what I think about them. So church-related, all of the things, shoot them at me. And while you guys are doing that, let me go ahead and jump right into the trending topic of this week online and on social media. And that goes out to prophetess, evangelist, whatever she is, Juanita Bynum. Okay, Juanita has shut down the internet for not just the church world, but I think the world. People are talking about the prayer institute that she posted and has been posting about this week, and promoting having her. I don't see any comments. So if y'all are commenting, I don't see anything. I don't know. Maybe y'all not commenting. That's why I don't see nothing. But I want to make sure I'm not missing anything if anybody is commenting. So Juanita Bynum this week announced that she was going to be having a prayer institute, right? And I'm going to just tell you guys out of full disclosure, I am not one that likes to shoot holes in every little thing that people do, right? I know I did a video about her and the whole being exposed and the video coming out of her dancing. That was my 2 cents on there, but now I'm going to give y'all my live 2 cents on this prayer institute for $14.99.99, because she's giving y'all a discount, okay? Y'all could be paying $19.99.99, but the Spirit has told her to give y'all a discount. So that's what Sis is doing. Sis is making it affordable, and y'all can also do payment arrangements. So if you don't have all of her money, you can definitely break it down into 4 easy payments to get her money. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and pull it up, because I like to be able to talk direct to what's going on and how it's happening. Now, when I first saw it, I really did think like it wasn't legit. I was like, whatever, you know, somebody maybe made this flyer up or something. So I went directly to the link on her page, and you'll be able to see it right here. There she goes. Sis is done up. Okay? Sis is out here thriving. She's not just surviving, she is thriving. Oh my goodness. Now, as I get a little bit more profound and going live, I might start putting pictures up here, but I ain't there yet. You know, God ain't blessed me to figure that part out. So that ain't what we doing. Let me see if I can do that though. Nope, I can't. I'm not there yet. Nope, that's edit from my Juanita likes money. Boom! That's the first comment. How you doing? Okay, thank you, N. Ross. I appreciate you because I'm glad you said something because I didn't know like where I would see people comments if they commented. So I saw N. Ross's comment. Juanita does like money. She does. And I'm not here to say if it's right or if it's wrong to like money, but what I am going to say is there's a problem when you're making things like this profitable. Impressionable adults who want to be close to you. And I explained it like this to my husband. Juanita Bynum and the like, they're able to capitalize off of women specifically in the church because Juanita Bynum isn't targeting men with her marketing by any means. This targets people who wants to be a part of a clique or a community or a village that has this kind of person's name on it. Like there are women and men who just really want to be a part of the church world or whatever circle or group of people that already have clout. And they don't realize that that's what they're doing. I wouldn't call it clout chasing when people sign up for these conferences, but they're low-hanging fruit to pull in based off of your clout because they want to be able to say, well, I went to Juanita Bynum's this. I did this with Juanita Bynum. Juanita Bynum gave me a certificate. It's like being an it girl. And she's an it girl. Like, come on. And I'm going to talk about Shawnee O'Neal as well in this video. I ain't going to be before y'all long. I'm watching my timer. I'm going to try to keep it under 20 minutes. But yeah, it's giving, not mean girl, but it's definitely giving cliquish mentality in the church and how people are able to monetize it. So you're correct with the $5,000 pins. I looked it up. And indeed, sis did have $5,000 pins a couple of years ago for sale. And I'm thinking to myself, are these the pins that Paul and Peter and them was using to write the epistles? Whatever they was writing, are these the same pins, sis? Because you have to explain to me how I'm going to pay you $5K for a pen. But we're going to learn today what you're going to be paying $14.99 for. Because right here, as you can see, $14.99, and she is given a discount from the $19.99. So it's a 4-week intensive. So I've been a part of 6-week intensive cohorts, for business, and they were free. I was chosen. I did fill out an application for it, by certain venture fund, capital companies, things like that. So I want you guys to understand what some of this lingo means. A 4-week intensive. So it's a course. It's not just going to be one session. It's not just going to be one day for $14.99. It's a 4-week course, but it's only going to be every Thursday. Okay. So it's going to be once a week on Thursday, and your package includes, so for your $1,500 investment, because I'm not going to be out here saying $14.99. I'm just not going to keep on saying that. Sis, make it $1,500. The people know that 1 cent is definitely not making a difference. And let me point out something else on this flyer. It says limited seating. I do marketing. Like, I send out emails, all of those things. You have to create the demand and the scarcity. So there's scarcity and demand playing two things like this, where you say limited seating, limited quantities available, limited edition, limited stock, limited inventory, limited time only. That creates the sense of urgency to the consumer that they need to go ahead and get on this right now. Okay, so let's move on. So you got a 4-week intensive every Thursday in October. Your package includes 2-hour intensive. So these are the 7 sessions, but you get 2 hours in each session with Juanita. A Q&A at the end of each session. The Prayer Institute tote bag. So we're talking about a tote bag that you probably can get on Alibaba, that you can get on, DH Gate or something like that and put your logo on it. She's probably getting these bags for anywhere between 21 cents and 46 cents if she's ordering them in bulk. I'm giving y'all game because I already know how this goes. And yeah, I'm going to pick it apart because it's my 2 cents. I'm late. Is there a link to join? No, Ralph, there isn't. Because I'm new to this. I'm really not true to this. I've never done a YouTube live. I don't know. Hey, Larry. I don't know how to give a link for you to join. Like, you can't, like, tap join and I'll bring you on. Child. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Christian, I'm all ears and ready for a good laugh. Child, you about to get it, okay? We got Larry. We got Ralph. Because I can't see y'all comments after they go away, y'all. I'm not liking this. The comments just go up and go away. I don't know how to do a link, bruh. I don't know how to do a link. Tell me, help you, so we can go, so you can come live and ask me your questions about the hell ain't real topic, because we want to talk about it. Right now we're going over Juanita's flyer, okay? If you guys have made your $1,500 investment, I want to talk to you about what you're about to get. So you're going to get a Prayer Institute tote bag. This is a bag that she's probably gotten wholesale for, like I said, anywhere from 10, 12 cents to 40 something cents or whatever if you order in bulk. And she just put her logo or emblem on it. And she's going to include this in your $1,500 package. The Prayer Institute binder. This concerns me, because it's, again, one of those wholesale things. So I understand you have to, perceived value is everything to an end consumer. And I'm breaking this down line by line, precept upon precept, intentionally, because I'm not, next after that, I'm going to get into people who are defending her online, okay? You can use Zoom or StreamYard. I can't do it, though. It has to be you because it's your page. Okay. Okay, Ralph, put your questions in the chat and we're going to do it like that. Because since I'm already live, I literally don't know how to do that. But for I know, we can reschedule, and then that way I can have a link for people to join and actually ask questions, and we can plan for that too. So I apologize that I didn't know how to do that. Love your content, gives me inspiration to share my story. I'm an ex-pastor's kid. Ooh, Ashley, baby, you probably got stories for years. Not days, but years. Okay, so Ralph, yes, I apologize that I didn't have a link. I wasn't aware that that's how this works, but I will make sure I have one for the next time I go live. But I still want to address your questions, and I do have them on my notes for tonight. So I will answer them, and any other questions you have in the comments, drop them, and we can do it back and forth like that, okay? Deal? Deal. Okay, I appreciate you so much for coming live, because I know you tonight wasn't going to work for you, but it ended up working for you, and I appreciate you. Okay, so you get the Prayer Institute binder. You get an exclusive Prayer Institute journal. So now we have a tote bag, we have a binder, and we have a journal. Sis is just out here getting things to give away. You have to have like some kind of value in order to build on that big number. You have to have a reason to justify charging people $1,500. It can't just be to teach prayer. Look at all of the things you get. All of this is included for a limited time. Think about QVC. Think about anything else that you see on TV that's being sold. Every time you're watching an infomercial, they're adding things every time they're talking, right? Like, and for a limited time only, we're going to throw in a set of knives. And for a limited time only, we're going to throw in the knives and the cutting board. For a limited time only, we're going to throw in the knives, the cutting board, and a knife sharpener. For a limited time only, we're going to throw in the knives, the cutting board, the sharpener, and the box that the knives come in. That's literally what this is giving. Y'all about to get the knives, the cutting board, the knife sharpener, and the box that the knives come in. Okay. Because you just got to throw some up in here. Okay, next. Exclusive Prayer Institute journal. Then you get the Prayer Institute certificate. Now, this is where my eyebrows went up. Okay, it was giving very much, what? The Prayer Institute certificate, anybody can print off a certificate. Anybody can. Now, the things behind me are not, I didn't create those, right? So like one is my manufacturing license. One is, you got the trademark over there. You got my LLC. You got my diverse, certificate of diverse ownership over there. Those are real certifications for things that actually matter for me to actually exist in my industry. Sis is doing a prayer institute certificate from herself. Self, man, woman made. I'm an ex-pastor. Well, thank you for joining in, Ross. I've seen your comments before, and you definitely share some good wisdom and experience too. I believe you commented on the music in ministry, in church, being an emotional experience. So thank you for your input. I appreciate that. So the certificate, it's a certificate just to say that Juanita Bynum, you finished her prayer institute. There's no weight behind it other than her name. And this is the kind of stuff that I be talking about when I do my videos, and I don't mean to sound mean or rude or like I don't honor the office or position of pastors, but it's like these are man-made titles, man-made accomplishments, man-made perception and ideologies that you're supposed to find weight in, that you're supposed to feel validated from. A certificate from her, like, okay, so added value piece of paper, design it like the person that designed this flyer, throw that in there for the $14.99. Okay. And these are the last two things that, whatever. Mantling of a full prayer shawl by Dr. Bynum. Mantling of a full prayer shawl by Dr. Bynum. She is going to mantle you. She's going to come. She's finna roll up on you. Let me get my headscarf, child, because I had my edges tied down before I came on here. She's going to do one of these upon you. She's going to be speaking in tongues, and she's going to wrap something around you. She's finna throw one of them shawls that y'all be seeing her walk around with. She's going to throw one of those around you. She has one on in this flyer too. So you get a mantle. She's going to rest it up on you. A shawl by her. And the last thing, sacred anointing oil. EVOO, anyone? Did anybody get to watch the video on blessed oil versus sage? So you're going to get sacred anointing oil. Sacred by who? Made sacred by who? For what use and reason? This stuff goes back to the tying in of all of the traditions and the rituals that Christians hold so near and dear, and they are not frowned upon or looked at weirdly at all. But every other religion that has tradition or has a problem, who does something else is an issue. Yes, Lord, untie the bow tie, retie the bow tie. That was the tongues. Lord, when are people going to wake up? I don't think that's going to happen. Kelly, I really don't think there's going to be any awakening because it is a deeply rooted system. It's a system. And so what you actually have to do is you have to be doing work in every area of your life in order to undo these kind of connections. And I'm not going to call them ungodly connections because they're soul ties. Like they're soul ties. Like in church, they talk about you sleeping with a lot of people. Like everyone you lay with, you have a soul tie with them, right? A part of who they are connects to who you are. And you're wondering why you can't do this and why you can't focus and why you're depressed and this who you've been laid up with. Okay. As is in church, right? Like it's a spiritual connection and soul tie that a lot of people have to their leaders, to their ministries, to auxiliaries, to organizations. They don't know how to disconnect because they actually don't have an identity outside of that. They don't know how to talk to you about regular topics. They don't have any desires for their own lives or their futures. They don't communicate or connect well with their own family or their peers. So church becomes a lot of people's everything. And even if they get to questioning God, they don't know how to lead the organization because of the people. And I really don't believe that a lot of people are in church or in certain organizations because of God. I believe they're there because of people. They like this woman, the comment section underneath this flyer and her videos are all women telling her how beautiful she is, how gorgeous she is. You're called by God. You're a woman of God. You changed my life. I've been watching your videos for this long. And I'm just scrolling. I'm just like, this is idolatry. These people are fans. Like, I'm just scrolling like these people, it ain't just like honoring the anointing on a person's life as much as it is wanting to just be close to that person, right? It's giving very much beehive, and then I don't know what we would call Juanita people, but slayers. I don't know, like if she out here slaying people with the oil. They fight. They go hard for her. And so there have been a lot of people, there have been quite a few people who have posted this in jest, saying that, wow, so now we're paying to learn how to pray. And then you've had some pastors' wives that I'm friends with on social media who have come to combat it and give their take on it by saying things like, y'all don't have a problem paying for your hair, your nails, a master class or a retreat or this conference or this or whatever. Y'all pay for whatever y'all want to, but then y'all will dishonor, God's spirituality when someone wants you to learn how to pray. Then I've seen people say silly things like, the anointing is free, but my time is not. Excuse me? Are we serious right now? If you are in the position of a pastor or a leader and you have a church and you get a salary or you have unlimited access to tithes and offering, that is your time may not be free, but you get paid. So if you want to host extracurricular activities like this, make it free to the public. B-Dub, thank you. How much did Jesus charge the people? For the 15th time, no money. Did Jesus say in any of the times when he performed miracles and did things for people, was he out here like, but first, my Cash App. Make it sing. Make my Cash App sing before you get this delivering. I'm not going to deliver you unless my Cash App say something. Wait for it. $, Jesus paid it all. That's my Cash App. $, Jesus paid it all. Hit my Cash App first. And then I will definitely cure your issue of blood. Not a problem. Lazarus will be up and walking. Just so you know. It's okay. We can reschedule. Oh, there go all the comments. Oh my God. Okay. It's okay. We can reschedule. Just FYI, you can go live from Facebook and invite people to join without any additional software. Okay, got it. So that means I need to create a My 2 Cents Facebook because I don't have one. I just have the YouTube. So My 2 Cents Facebook community coming soon, where you guys can post topics and things you want me to talk on, and I can do that too. Thank you so much, Ralph. I appreciate you. Hit me with some frankincense and myrrh first. Real talk. That's really what it's giving. Kelly said, I guess you said you are so right. I was raised a Jehovah's Witness, struggled to leave, finally got free, and went to Descending Dove Christian Center, a Pentecostal background church. Lord, another cult. Gotta go. I hate to see it. I hate to see it. I hate to hear it. I hate to know that this kind of stuff exists and that it's real. I recently started watching Sins of a Mother on Netflix yesterday. I don't even think I made it through the first 15 minutes of it before I just had to turn it off, because the mother that is being profiled in this documentary is a mother who is now accused of unaliving her children, right? So she unalived her son and daughter. They came up missing first, and then her and her new husband ran off, I think, to Hawaii to live. And they are a part of the FMLA cult. Y'all probably like, girl, that is family medical leave act. Well, FLSDS or LSDS or LSD, you ain't heard that from me. They're part of that community with the letters, okay? And she was some kind of source that was going to be used for the greater good of other people and being close to the prophet and all these other things. Too much to cover in this video, but I will finish Sins of a Mother and probably do a My Two Cents video on it, as it does have that's the police. Something's going wrong on my street, clearly. Yeah, so the LDS church or something like that, or Instagram. Okay, so I think I might create an Instagram page or something like that. I think I may do that, and then just let y'all know when I go live on there over here, so we can join. So look out for that. I'll post a short once I've created the pages on Instagram and Facebook, so you guys can join on that too. I look forward to talking to y'all live. But it's just unfortunate because a lot of parents actually end up indoctrinating their children into their choices of spiritualism. We don't have a choice, right? And so earlier when Kelly mentioned, when will people wake up? I really don't. It's going to take a lot of work that you have to be doing on your personal life that would actually end up trickling down into your spiritual connections, because that's what happened to me. I wasn't even trying to go as deep as I've gone and elevate as much as I have away from Christianity until I started wanting a change in my personal life, and I started cutting off people who didn't serve me. I started realizing that I had too much stress, too much anxiety, too much heaviness from certain relationships and certain experiences and certain environments. And it all started when we relocated from Mississippi to Texas. And I felt like me and my husband got a clean slate. Like, we were able to pretty much become totally new people because no one knew us here. No one had expectations of us. No one was expecting us to be in church, be on the praise team, him be a, minister of music, or, me to dress a certain way or act a certain way. So I felt like I got a fresh, clean start. And that's when I started really wanting to shed the layers that I felt I had put on myself, but really they were the perception and the expectations of others. And once I got free and clear of certain environments and relationships, I started doing the work to find out, why do I feel like this? Why do I care about what people think so much? I've never had conflict outside of church. I've always had my conflicts in church. I've never had to approach or correct or get anybody straight in the world. I've always had issues and, battles with people in ministry. What is this, honey? This is ghetto. I did not like it. 0 stars, would not recommend. My greatest fears, my greatest stress, the most pressure that I felt was when I was an avid churchgoer. It bothers me so much when people comment and say things like, oh, you'll find a good church home and you just need to get under this kind of leadership and whatever. I'm like, you're not getting it. You're not listening, baby. You're not hearing none of these videos clear. It's not the pastor. It's the system. It's the system that is meant to oppress. It's the system that is meant for you to be helpless and for you not to have hope. So they can keep teaching you the same thing and make you think you're going to one day get higher, get more, get better, get closer. And when I hear and watch documentaries like the one that I just told you guys about, Sins of a Mother, I think to myself, it's amazing how every religion thinks the other one is crazy. It's amazing how every religion thinks the other one is off or weird or occult or satanic or demonic. It's amazing how every religion thinks the other one is wrong. Is it possible that all y'all wrong? Did anybody ever consider that all y'all religions are just made up? Nobody? Okay, all right, not a problem. I don't want to burst your bubble, but it just, that deconstruction, me peeling all of that away, like, dang, what if there is a God, but we've just been taught it the way other people interpreted it? What if? I'm like that about everything in life now. What if I wasn't taught that this was wrong and this was right? I would have no idea of what the differences were. So everything in our lives, we have to comb through it that way, not challenging or believing that people are just making things up, but like really looking at it and saying, why do I believe what I believe? Who told me to believe that? Oh. The police. Y'all. Now, if my mama would say she would stretch her hands that way and pray while they was driving down the street. That's what I'm gonna do. I definitely want whoever or whatever's going on for them to be safe and there to be no problems and no issues. So for sure. Okay, so Kelly, I saw your comment. You said yes, they are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yes. And it's amazing how every other religion is wrong. There's only one true way to get to the Father, right? And that's through God. And then you have this other religion that's saying it's a different way. And you have to do this in order to elevate and to get higher to the Creator or to the prophet or to whoever. And it's like, man, this is a Ponzi scheme. And the only people benefiting from it is from people at the top of the pyramid. Just the tippy top is giving MLM, and we're not getting any of the residuals. Everybody at the top of the pyramid or close to the top wins, and then the downline, which you, the members, the body, you're the downline. And you're not the one that's living your best life. You're being promised that one day you'll get to live your best life. You're being promised that one day you get to live like this while you watch everybody else at the top live like that right now. That's why I said what I said in the video about hell not being real. It's amazing how the perception, and it's okay, we make it okay for pastors and leaders and teachers and all of these people to live lavish, luxurious, or just, basic necessities and some wants. We allow them to live that good in front of us, but then you're supposed to live a lowly struggle life when you're the one going to work. And they're the ones living off of what you tithe and give and pay into. You got to make it make sense. And that's not all pastors. All churches are not living it up. All pastors are not free and don't have jobs. I know pastors who still work regular jobs, right? And I know pastors who don't. I know pastors who did, and then they were able to come off of their jobs after being pastors for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. They retired from their jobs and get pensions and Social Security and the church salary. That's their business, right? That's what they gave their lives over to and decided to do. I'm not arguing about those things. What I have a problem with is the doctrine and the teaching that says, give me, so, that you may reap. And then you're on year 15, you're on year 12, you're on year 13, you're on year 32, and you're still living paycheck to paycheck. You still don't have enough to take a vacation. You still don't have enough to save up for your kids' tuition. You still don't have enough to go get a regular dental checkup out of pocket. These are like real concerns that we have to really look at and say, who benefits from religion? Is it the people who believe, or is it the people who lead? Is it the people who believe, or is it the people that lead? That's the real question. Who benefits? The people who believe or the people that lead? And I'm going to go with the people that lead for 400, Alex. Because it's really giving, this works for those who continue to sell the dream to other people. So with the Juanita Bynum situation, I'm not against her having a prayer institute. I just feel like there's a more tactful way to do it, and charging people $1,500 is not it. Not for what I just listed. Now I can see if this included your stay at a hotel, if you come to Atlanta or wherever she's hosting it, because it's in person. I can see if that included your flight. I can see if that included your lunch. Some real, engagement where you're actually having life on life building. But when we're talking about prayer, ma'am, you pray every day. You can log on any time of day and see her live with these flyers and this solemn music background every time she's speaking. It's like weird. I get a very, very weird vibe from her. And I have for a very long time, y'all. And it's concerning. And I feel like she knows what she's doing. These people are literally experts at manipulating people emotionally. They know what kind of music to play. They know what kind of tone to talk in. A lot of these pastors and leaders, their voice don't even sound the same when they're not in a pulpit. And y'all know that I'm not lying. Y'all got family members, friends, all of that who are in church or pastors. The voice is different when they're not preaching. when they're not talking to other members or church leaders. And that's how you know it's an act. So they know how to like bring it down. They know how to touch and pull on your heartstrings for it to be a move of the anointing, the move of a spirit. I could tap into it too if I wanted to. I just don't want to be another person. I want to be me, which is free. Okay. Now, you ain't got to pay me $1,500. Not for that. No. I don't even charge people in business $1,500. Like for business consultations, I may need to raise my prices because I'm not helping the people, but you know, that's tangible to bring them money. But is the praying going to be something that they can then go monetize? Or are you just going to teach them how to pray so well that they'll be able to pray things through for their lives? Because again, it goes back to the person that leads and not the person who believes. She's the leader of this institute. So she's going to get those $1,500 checks or deposits and, you know, Stripe payments or however they're paying. She's going to get that money. And the people who believe are just going to get prayer cloths, sacred anointing oil, binders, journals, and totes. You're going to get a tote, a journal, a binder, a shawl, and some oil for $1,500. If you don't get out of my face and go source that online on Amazon, Jeff Bezos can have that to you tomorrow for probably $72, like somewhere around there. You ain't got to give it to her for $1,500. Not $1,500, no. But let's move on from Juanita. The next thing that I want to talk about, because it is important, if you guys are not familiar with Matthew Stevenson, he is a pastor. He's the founding pastor of ANWA, All Nations Worship Assembly or Association. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, child. What does the A at the end of WA stand for? I mean, what we doing with the WA? ANWA. So ANWA is having a little dismantling of its own of the ministries. And it's something that I've kind of been following for the last week and a half via Larry Reed and him doing some videos talking about it. And now there is this pastor by the name of Linda Jernigan. And this is the only reason I'm going to talk about this is because I watched Linda Jernigan, who used to be a pastor in ANWA. I watched her video sharing why she left ANWA's ministry as a pastor. And while I was watching the video, I was folding clothes, I was doing laundry, I was moving around. And I'm listening to her share her story of why she left ANWA. And I'm just thinking to myself, some of y'all are just too old, too mature, not even in Christ, but just in life to get played with. Like, I'm starting to be concerned about the lack of discernment as an individual that people have as it relates to spirituality in church. I'm getting concerned. Like, it's making me think that people are literally being brainwashed because there's an extent of which people will be abused in ministry before they say enough, right? Which lets me know that people are infatuated with leadership. People want to be close to the person who's at the helm of it all. They don't care about God. They may say they do, but their heart is set on being accepted, is set on being liked, is set on being in the in crowd, and they'll succumb to all kinds of forms of abuse and manipulation, mistreatment, isolation, just to be accepted. And so Linda Jernigan, I don't know how old she is, but she looks to be probably like late 40s, maybe early 50s. And I could tell, like when I first started watching the video, that she either was same gender loving or had been. And so, of course, as I continued to listen to her video, she confirmed that she had been delivered from a same gender loving relationship over 20 years, and she used to be an alcoholic. So she's sharing her story from being a part of ANWA. She's talking about how she was the target of several attempts to get her to backslide and to drink from other pastors in ANWA. Like, there were other ministers from All Nations Worship Assembly who were trying to set her up to get her to drink and backslide. So I guess they could pretty much say, oh yeah, we knew you weren't as saved or as spiritual or as deep as you tried to act like you were. And in her sharing the stories of what they did to her, sending her food and desserts with alcohol in it, all of these things they did. These are not my words. This is exactly what Linda Jernigan said happened to her herself by other pastors pastors in Anwa, which is led by Matthew Stevenson. So during her video of her sharing these things happening to her, she says when they would go like out of town or have conferences or meetings or whatever where all of the pastors would come together, they would be upset with her because she would not participate in smoking hookah, getting high, drinking, being out all night or whatever. So they didn't like her because she didn't do what they did with her. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, you're sharing this, but do you know like what you're actually exposing about the heart of the ministries that are nationwide and sweeping the nation with a big movement of God in a culture that is shifting society? You're literally telling us that it's a show going on over there in Anwa. You're telling us that you're telling us this, that number one, you were subjected to mistreatment as a minister at Anwa by other ministers. You're also telling us that they pretty much do what they want to do, which I don't care, but they do what they want to do and get to act super spiritual, saved, slain, called, and all of that at Anwa. And that Matthew Stevenson knows it and does nothing about it at Anwa. She literally told us that, and she decided to leave because they were doing her so shifty and dirty, leaving her, left her at the hotel in the city they were in. She walked downstairs to the lobby. They'd already left to the airport, and she didn't have a way to get back home. Why would they do that to you? Like, so many red flags shot up in my mind. Like, number one, why would they do that to you? Number two, why did you stick around as long as you did for it to happen? Because she said she had been wanting to leave the ministry. And she had told Matthew Stevenson, and he didn't want her to leave. So y'all have to see where I'm coming from when I create this content and I'm sharing these facts. And then my 2 cents is just to get people to wake up and say, stop jumping on the bandwagon of ministries because it's popular. That is actually a psychological trait that a lot of us have as humans. Well, all of us have as humans, to be accepted, to be in. That's why bullying happens, because you want to be accepted by people. And even if they're mean to you, and if they are abusive to you, and if they mistreat you, you don't sound the alarm. You don't stand up for yourself. And it's even worse in church, because you feel like you're going against the word. You're going against God when you call out men and women of God. Call them jokers out. Muster up whatever you need to in your chest to tell on them, to blow the whistle, blow the whistle, blow the whistle, like blow the whistle. Stop being abused and saying that you're suffering for Christ's sake. Baby, this is not Disneyland, and you do not get a fast pass to heaven if you suffer in church. Stop suffering. It's really simple. Tell these people off or confront them and move about your life. There's so many people in ministries who are burdened and hurt and stressed and full of anxiety and depression because they won't address what is happening to them at the sake of being a Christian or being a good steward. You're not out of line by addressing what is happening to you. I had to realize that. There was the time when we did leave the ministry that we were in Mississippi, and I'll never forget it. We had attempted to talk to our pastor multiple times, and he was pretty much either ignoring us or downplaying the severity of what we were trying to bring to his attention. We were 24, 25 at the time, and I believe he had to be anywhere between 52 and 55. So he knew better. But we were the ones that were trying to approach it and actually trying to confront it, not being confrontational, but just confront it. Like, let's not just sweep this under the rug. We want to address it, right? Because I feel like people who like to address stuff are usually the ones who don't mind, like it being out there. And so I've always taken that stance. If I'm wrong, we will get to the bottom of that because I want to talk about it. But if you're wrong, you're more than likely not even interested in discussing it because it's going to cause you to come under question. And so he kept trying to avoid the conversation. And so finally, when we did confront and we did talk about it, he didn't like that. And my mother actually had preached at our church before. Like my mother had preached at the church that we went to before we even became members of the church. And I remember her calling me one day and she was like, well, Pastor so-and-so called me and told me that I may want to talk to you. And, you know, and I said, he called you about me? I said, Mom, you are in Indiana.